Hello everybody to the January 2023 recap. So now I'm lovingly recording this as the last part of this. So that's a lot of stuff I recorded, and I re-recorded a lot of stuff. Like, the reason not this took so long is because I had to retake a lot of stuff because my voice just kept disappearing. But yeah, you can see the sections on the screen, or you can see them in the chapter selection if you wish to skip to something. But I hopefully made this video short enough. Maybe. Probably not. So, I have stuff I want to talk about. I have to recap some stuff. I want to highlight some stuff. I need to talk about some stuff that I have been playing, watching, reading, viewing. I want to just recap my January. And this is hopefully something that I will be doing in the future, like every month. That is the aim. To at least get something out every month. Now, of course, it will take some time always, and hopefully it won't be taking, they won't come out this late, as late as this video came out. So, now this one in particular is something where, because this is the first one, I did not actually plan this out properly, so I don't have footage for everything, but in the future I hope to actually use more visual aids so I can actually showcase what I'm specifically talking about, but that will be for the future. This time it will be far shorter, and that's the point. Yeah. I actually don't have anything else, so let's get on with the recap. So, first off, I kinda have to talk about my living situation. This won't be a long section, but this is something I do want to bring up. It's very obvious. I am, all the time just, sick. I am not happy about that. I don't know what it is about this winter, but I'm really, just, really vulnerable to catch a flu. And you can hear that from my voice all throughout this recording as well. So yeah, I'm just getting flu all the time, and that has been a pain in the ass. I don't know what it is, why that happens this January so much, this winter that much. Sometimes it's worse, sometimes it's just my voice kind of being gone, disappearing like that. But it can get really, really bad sometimes, and that has been very annoying. Secondly, my living situation currently is that I am actually going to school, which school is good. Yeah, I like school. I like the studies I'm doing, so that's programming and stuff like that, and it's fine. I'm gonna have to see what I wanna do with that and where that leads me and stuff, but that's unimportant where that exactly leads me. It's a thing I want to study. I want to get a degree, and that's gonna be easy to do. It just takes time. Easy is relative stuff. And finally, I am also annoyingly busy with my hobbies. And by hobbies, I mean I am currently volunteering for Red Cross because I'm doing some random stuff with them. And I'm also constantly holding concerts, which they don't take an excessive amount of time, but they do take time. So actually I'm kind of underplaying that because they do take a lot of time, but it's not that bad. It's a thing. And also I do have the ongoing D&D game, which I should invest more time into, because I just do it always just in a bunch at one sitting, which is really bad. I should do it more consistently all the time, but we'll see. And of course I do run a board game club, which that's a thing. So yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, that's small things about my living situation without going into too much detail. So the next topic I want to cover is what I am currently working on, which probably is something that a lot of people do want to know. So there's two main projects. There's a lot more, but two main projects which I wish and I'm aiming to get finished in this next month, so the month of February, which by the time this is out, it's already quite a long way going on, but we'll see, whatever. I'll get it done, hopefully, maybe. So the two projects. I'm trying to do Assassination Classroom. I want to attempt a new kind of format, kinda, in a way, which is gonna be more of a condensed review, reaction sort of thing, which you'll just have to wait and see, but it is going to be a, like, singular video with clips from their reactions, commentary stuff, and more of a review format. So it's gonna be like a condensed, spliced together, like, jumbled mess. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but that is the plan. I have a clear idea. I have, like, a structure in mind for that, but how I wanna do that, I have, like, a very clear idea for that. I just need to get it done. That's a big problem. Oh well. And next, of course, is still the freaking Eternity project, which is Indivisible. I need to push that out. Once I get that done, it's gonna be like, it has been a albatross on my neck all the time that I haven't gotten that done, because I do have things to say, but I need to, like, have a clear idea how I want to say those things. So there's, I don't know why I'm so conflicted about that. Mostly it's just a thing that I haven't gotten it done. It's just like creeping along there all the time. So yeah, those are the two main projects. There's a lot of other stuff, but I'm not gonna make any promises about those, because I've been testing out a lot of stuff and I've been, like, not happy about them. So I'm not gonna do that. Hopefully, like, these videos, this kind of recap videos, will give me more structure to how I want to do things. And yeah, we'll just have to see how this goes. So first of all, I want to speak about Duelist 2, which is something I was very excited for when it was first announced that that little indie company had, like, acquired the rights and the assets to it, and they had gotten permissions, and they were starting to do that because Duelist, the original Duelist, was and is, like, it's the new one is basically the same game. So Duelist is fantastic. It's like one of my favorite card games ever, and it's not even close to, like, the most other games that you might be comparing it to. It's very special. I absolutely love it. I wish the company that is now taking care of it, I just hope that they'll take good care of it and that they'll be very successful, because I want to see that game flourish. It is fantastic. In addition, they have very nice pricing business, and it's just, they are being very fair with the game, and I like it. Naturally, the game is just, like, still very fun to play, and the company or the developers are taking good care of it, and they are being very open and communicating very well with the community in the Discord server that they have, and that has clearly already had a huge effect on it, because the patches that they have been giving out are just top notch. So that is something that I've been really playing, not exactly daily, but maybe, well, close to daily. It is fantastic, like, still top notch game, absolutely. And also, there's a fun thing that, since they did have all the assets, they just put the first one, they just made the original one freely accessible with the whole collection. So with my friend, we have been making some decks from the old version and dueling with each other, and it's so much fun. It's always a pleasure to play that game. It is such a good game, and it's like, there's no similar card game to it, and it's just such a fantastic experience. Another game that I have been just blasting through is Touhou Lost Branch of Legend. So Touhou is, of course, like, there's a lot of fan games for that game, for the series, and that is just fantastic. I'm very happy that there are, and, like, there's a lot of good games. This particular game since Touhou Lost Branch of Legend is basically Slay the Spire, which still is one of the best deck building roguelikes ever, like so silly good that it's not even close. There's a lot of other games that have come out since then, and they are always just trying to put their own little twist on the formula, and that's always refreshing to see. It's good to have competition, and it's good to have innovation, because innovation breeds, better games. Stagnation causes AAA markets. But yes, Touhou Lost Branch of Legend is... I'm just really big into Touhou. Well, kinda big, like... I'm not good at Danmaku shooters, but I do absolutely adore Touhou. And this take on the Slay the Spire formula is very refreshing. It uses different colors of mana, which that's fantastic. It allows for very different types of cards to be built, and it gives them a bit more of an identity. And the way that the game mechanics work is that it allows you to kind of like splice into other characters and have like you to use cards from two different characters, like from the one that you always choose and the other one that you might pick up, or you might not, because you can still just use only one character's cards. And that allows for such a fantastic variety of combinations, and the game is honestly a bit more random than Slay the Spire, but it is also far more forgiving in that way that you can get like very silly, powerful builds going on really easily, and I think that is a fantastic appeal to it, and it really does fulfill the power fantasy that Slay the Spire slightly struggles in, where Slay the Spire is frankly more difficult, and while that is a good thing, it feels like you just barely can't get enough of the power fantasy build going on, because it's kind of, too difficult at the hardest difficulties. Now, Touhou Lost Branch of Legend is not the easiest game ever. However, it has a lot of really good things going on that make it far more manageable, and it is very fantastic experience to learn. So that is something that I've been very happy with. Third game I want to delve into a bit more detail is Pathologic 2. Now, this game has been on my radar for a long while, admittedly, and I don't know if I'll make a let's play of it, because it's a very special type of game. It's certainly very enjoyable, kinda. It's interesting because it's a very peculiar type of game. I don't know how to describe the experience other than like just a basic gameplay experience, which would be, just basic, not open world, but like exploration, survival, action-ish role-playing in the way that you make narrative choices, kind of. Except it's more difficult to explain, but I just wanted to give it a shout out here. Pathologic 2, fantastic, absolutely one of my favorite experiences of this month, and I just think it's really, really solid. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. I wish that the next chapters of the story will come out like eventually. I don't care how long it'll take, but hopefully eventually. Due to circumstances, it of course does take time, but I do think it is fantastic, and I wish the best of luck for that. I have played the original one as well, and since that is the whole story, it's interesting to see different aspects portrayed in a different detail and in a different manner. So, yeah. So, the last game I'd like to talk a bit more about would be Morbid the Seven Acolytes, which is a interesting little action 3D exploration Souls-like game that's kind of the general vibe that you get, like Souls-like, except top-down. It's been fun. It's a bit more on the like grotesque side. It has clear inspirations of Lovecraftian cosmic horror style things, and it's very very visceral, shall we say. And I do like it quite a bit. It's been very enjoyable and a bit of a challenging experience, but I haven't played it all that much yet, so I'm not going to go too much into detail. But it has been enjoyable. I was very happy to pick it up for surprisingly cheap because, of course, Steam, you know. So, that game might actually be something that I might make some content on in the future, because it has some really interesting stuff in it, and I really do find a lot of the things that it does to be maybe not revolutionary, but interesting experiments to see how you can use a 3D space in a, or rather not 3D but 2D top-down view space to create interesting but challenging and at the same time not frustrating fight mechanics, and still keep the battles constantly different without being unfair, in the same way that most Souls-like games, but at least good Souls-like games do. So I really do, and I think that game is certainly worth checking out. So that's that. So it is time to speak of what I've been reading recently. So I have 3 series that I have been reading quite a bit recently, and I am really happy that those have like animes already. First of all, I started reading Blue Lock like far before it had an anime announcement, and I am very positively surprised. I am not a huge sports manga fan, but I think Blue Lock is very special and unique, and that makes it interesting enough that I absolutely will continue reading it. And I think the anime looks pretty freaking rad, so I think I'm gonna like watching that at some point. Reading the manga has been really good. I am really excited about it. Of course, it's like very, shall we say, portrays a negative display of human emotions, but in an interesting and a delightfully unique perspective. So I am very happy about it. Secondly, I read through Chainsaw Man because, obviously, yeah. I'm not gonna dwell too much on this because I think I will watch the anime at some point, and I think it's something I'm gonna have to do a commentary on or some kind of review. I don't know. We'll see. But shortly, just put shortly, I think Chainsaw Man is good. It's definitely good. It's very unique. It has aspects that most shonen manga just doesn't have. It's kind of hard to call it shonen, but yeah, it's unique, interesting, exciting, fun, I guess. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. So yeah, I've read it up to release, so it's going to be interesting to see. I haven't actually watched the anime yet, at least not completely. I've been releasing the openings, and that's good. That's good stuff. So, thirdly, I started reading Baki, because I hadn't read it from the beginning. I had only read few parts here and there, and I have not gotten that far yet. But what I have read, I must say I am very intrigued about, because it's an old series, and that kind of shows in the way that it is very, has some absurd amounts of brutality to it, but it is really entertaining, and it is from the get-go really batshit insane, and I love it. So I think I'm gonna watch Baki at some point. I'm gonna have to read more of it because obviously it's gonna be really interesting, but yeah, Baki has been an interesting read to say the least. So then I would like to talk about what I've been watching with my friends and alone. Most importantly, I like have regular watch parties with my friends. Like, we constantly are watching one series that we are just like, it's our, like, we just go through series together. Currently, the series that we are going through is a Toaru Kagaku no Railgun, so certain scientific railgun, and the other series, so certain scientific uh, accelerator and certain magical index. We are currently going at Index Season 2. We have watched basically chronologically everything up until that, so accelerator and what else did we watch? Index Season 1 and Railgun Season 1. So that's one of the animes we're watching. I do have issues with it, but the issues are mostly generic anime issues, like the age of characters and blatant sexualization and that kind of, the usual stuff that's always kind of an issue with many animes, so it's like a thing that you just kind of have to deal with. At least it's like there's other stuff besides that and that, so it's fine. It's not that bad. So I do very much enjoy those series. They're quite interesting, to say the least. Then there's something that we watched with my friend, and I just like loved it, and that is we watched Amphibia. It's a Western animated show, and it is, funnily enough, it's also like it really does fulfill the terms of an isekai, which is kind of ironic, but it's really good, like hilariously good, like in the way that let's say Owl House and Avatar were good. It's in the same terms. It's really freaking imaginative and very heartfelt, and the comedy just hits on point. So if you if you want something similar to the feelings you get from Avatar, I highly suggest Amphibia, or it's closer to Owl House per se, which is not surprising, all things considered, but it is very good. We watched all of it. I really enjoyed it. So yeah. And then there is certain thing that we watched with my friend, and that is we watched a movie, Puss in Boots 2, which is not surprising to a lot of people who watched it. It is really good. Like, I have a general idea for movies that I kinda find it difficult to invest my time in them because they take a lot of time. It takes a lot of time, and I have issues with my attention span if I'm not like constantly spouting out stuff. But that movie was just phenomenal. Like, it looked very, very amazing. Like the art style is fantastic, and it just like all the scenes are really excellent. The characterization just in general is really good. I really enjoy how the characters turned out, and the story, like, this is something like I feel like is hard to emphasize. There are stories where it's not a surprise how the stories are going to end up. So it's like you can predict what's going to happen, and that doesn't diminish it at all, but because the execution is so good. And some predictability in a story is always kind of like, sometimes it's very good when the mystery isn't the point of the show, like how it's gonna go, or the movie in this case. If you can predict what's going to happen, it just means that they kind of foretold it very well, and that's good. Like, it made the feeling that the story is consistent, and my god, that is just... nothing really surprised me except the fact that I enjoyed it so much. The characters, the action, the animation, the visuals, everything. Okay, there is actually one certain scene which did surprise me, and I'm not gonna go too heavily into it, But there is a depiction of a panic attack in the movie, which is portrayed in a... It's just such a good scene. So that is certainly something that I really, really liked it. So if you do have like 2 hours to kill, it's a good movie to watch. Then there is... I'm gonna have to talk about one certain thing in YouTube that I'm watching, and that is TBSkyan is making currently like the best panels. What are the best panels in One Piece series? Like doing shorts about that, and those are really enjoyable, and they have kind of inspired me to go back and read through One Piece from the beginning once again, because yeah, One Piece is pretty good. that's not surprising, but it started out so well, so strong already, and I'm enjoying everything about it. So, and the fact that TBSkyan has a way with words that like portrays his specialty in these fields, it's just, he brings his own expertise and it's fantastic. So yeah, that's TBSkyan makes shorts about One Piece. Yeah, that's good stuff. Really have enjoyed that. So, this final section will be dedicated to art, because I have always enjoyed watching other people's artwork and analyzing and talking about it. So that is something that I wish to do with these recaps. Now I'm kind of showing favoritism here, but also because I think she's just a fantastic artist. I wanted to give this first spotlight, or the January spotlight, to my friend. They have a link in the description where you can go and follow them if you wish, so you can go there. First of all, I have like 3 pieces of artwork that I wish to speak of. The first one will be this lovely, this lovely sketching, not sketching, but like drawing of like, well, it's mushroom people. I love this like landscape shots here, like of these, like it's a very mystical feeling in the like this landscape here, just in general. I just love how much of a fairy tale it feels like, and also I just like generally love the idea of like mushroom people. It's like, it's fun, it's funny and whimsical, and I just absolutely adore it. Also, these little creatures, these 2 little beings there, are just like, these 2 are just adorable. I don't know what it is, but they're just adorable. And of course the centerpiece character is just, she's just very pretty. So I just generally do love the expressions and the details. It's very fantastic. I'm absolutely loving this. It is, I don't know, it might be just like because I do have a love for nature, and this just like has such a lovely feeling to just of the forests of my childhood, which just like it really brings a lovely homely feeling to it, which just like it highlights some aspects of my past which I just love, and like more of the positive aspects. So it's very lovely. It has some really lovely amount of detail here, so it's fantastic. Next we have this lovely avian creation here, because I wanted to highlight this more specifically because I love the color palette here. It is like more darker tones, but still being very bright in a way, and it's just like, it radiates more like happy themes, which I think everybody could use more happiness, and that stuff is also great. So the color scheme is something that, or the color palette is something that I just absolutely adore here. I also just wanted to highlight avians, because avian creatures, like more avian features, are always something that I don't know why, but it's always something more interesting. I also really do love that little braid going down the side there, which that's a lovely little detail. Also, I feel like the modern clothing choices actually really fit the color palette without actually like going to like modern clothes often are very dark, but the lighter color pattern here like actually fits very well these clothing choices, and it's like very fantastic. Also, the fabric is just like, I don't know, it's just like really fantastically drawn here, which just I really do like. The expression, of course, is fantastic, and there's just something about piercings in a way that I do especially enjoy, and yeah, that's great. this actually really lovingly highlights how much I lack vocabulary for art criticism and stuff, like analysis and stuff. But yeah, I hope my idea is coming across here, at least somewhat. So the final art piece I wish to highlight more, like particularly, is this lovely, lovely her rendition of her friend's OC, which, you know, this shows my particular preferences, but I absolutely just love so much about this. It's really hard to describe this without going, like, saying everything. So, like, particularly, that clothing is something that I just absolutely adore. This would be, if my body type was more built for this, I would love to wear that, which I'm not ashamed to admit. I would love to, and that, especially like the bottom part, is something that I might actually try to make on my own, like maybe not even that far in the future. Of course, the expression and the just like body posture here is something that I really love the mood that it gives. The way that the shadow plays off with the character is also like very fantastic, and I'm a sucker for horns, which that's a particular preference of mine. But yeah, this is just something that really tickles my fancy in so many ways, which I'm not gonna put into words because I think y'all can guess. But that is something that I just love. Now, finally, I do have the collection of these 3 pictures, which I won't go into too much detail because I want to keep this like at least somewhat constrained here. But they are all absolutely fantastic, so you probably should pause here and just like admire them on your own. So I'm not gonna go too much into detail here. You can go follow her, and that's all I can like say now, because otherwise I'm gonna go rambling too much into these. So yes. Now with that being said, I thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the future. I'm not gonna go too much into detail about everything, but I'm just gonna say thank you all. I hope this has been an interesting way for me to start doing these recaps, and it's a way for me to just pump out more content, and I hope you all will have enjoyed it, and will enjoy these in the future. I'm gonna do more and hopefully like script them out better and just like get better at all of this. And yeah, I'm gonna try to concentrate in the future and maybe get my health back, so that's a good thing. But anyways, thank you all very much. I'll hope to see you in the future. Have a great day and stay awesome. And move out.